When you take a closer look at prestige German manufacturers, you'll notice that all bar one have the supercar box ticked within their lineups. Audi have the established R8, Mercedes the AMG GT variants, but BMW, no supercar at all. Question them as to why, and they'll ask you, why do we need to make a supercar when our cars are already supercar fast? So here we have it then, the ultimate M4, the GTS. Supercar claims, but is it in supercar territory? When the M4 launched in 2014, it divided opinion. While some loved the huge boost in performance over the E90 platform, many found the F82 just too harsh, too wayward, and they pined for that normally aspirated V8. Since then, it's been refined and honed. The GTS now delivers just under 500 horsepower with almost 400 pound-foot of torque, near a 70 horsepower increase on the standard M4. And at 1500 kilos, it's 80 kilograms lighter. That's about the weight of a lean adult. That extra power is made available by water cooling, with the GTS featuring aero revisions, carbon panels, and in Club Sport form, that standout roll cage. It's also the first production car to feature OLED lights, just like your mobile phone. This car is another Kass Ayax Rodriguez production, and it's beautifully crafted in all aspects. The link's in the download, and as ever, download it now. The only way to know how well this car and mod performs is out on the track, and for this episode of First Drive, we're headed to a special circuit, Oulton Park. This 2.7 mile circuit created by Terra21 and Jim Lloyd is a technical track featuring 17 turns with varying camber and elevation changes to keep you focused throughout an entire lap. Rumour has it that this track is a favourite of the original stick himself, Ben Collins. So let's get a sighting lap in, where you get to appreciate just how well crafted this mod is. You'll need to take a late apex into turn 1 and let the car run wide to be able to maintain momentum, while keeping the throttle pinned into the right hander. You'll need to maintain a steady throttle through the apex, and where possible, as the turn begins to change, start to feed the power back on. Depending on what you're driving, the cones make a great reference point for lifting and beginning your turning. Visualised from above, shell oils is actually a hairpin, so be really patient getting on the juice as you come out of the turn, and don't run too wide on the exit. There are no brake markers here, so use the add banners to get a good reference and aim to get a clean exit onto the next straightaway. The 100-metre marker here is a great reference point for most cars coming into Hislop's. Focus on closing in on the second apex and hang left for a really good run out. And yep, this corner is actually called Knickerbrook. It's full power up the hill, letting the car run to the wide straight after the bridge. Drive a tight line into Water Tower on the left. Watch your balance under braking here and feed the power in after a late apex and track out to the left hand side of the track. Brake markers are again king here. Maintain a balanced throttle as you leave Lodge and power up the hill to complete your lap. And that is a lap of Oulton Park. And with that information on board, let's jump into a track day and let's go supercar hunting. First up, 570S. This car literally feels like much more of a race car than it does a road car, and that's by design. The AI is set to as much as Assetto Corsa will give throughout all of the AI. And the cars are actually set up with default tyres, so the McLaren 570S ahead, that's basically running like a P0 Corsa tyre, whereas the M4 GTS, well, that's running Michelin Pilot Cup Sport 2s. It's about as sticky as you're going to get on any road-going track car that's out right now. As a nod to just how quick this M4 GTS is, within a single lap we caught up to a standard BMW M4. So, can it hang with a 570S? Absolutely. Next up, Ferrari 458. In all fairness to the previous run, I'm getting used to the track, I'm getting warmed up as much as the car's getting warmed up now. You can see those Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2s working well in the brake zone here. So much confidence this car gives. If anything, I'd actually say that this car allows you to express a lot of confidence out on the track. If you feel like you can push for it, you probably can. Great work on the physics with this car. So is the M4 GTS really in supercar territory? Absolutely. But can it stand up to the ultimate test in its class, the Porsche 911 GT3 RS? Well, that's a question that can only really be answered in a head-to-head.